I care about you way too much to let him try and hurt you. You care about me, like a friend, right? Well, like a friend, Max? I'm not gonna lie to you, Vanessa. I do care about you, but not just as a friend. I think I've always cared about you, much more than just a friend. He'd tell you, my son would say that he's sleeping with your ex-wife. No, that can't be right. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Time's up, man. Here's the answer you've been waiting for. I'm living proof that your granddaddy cheated on poor old Clarice with my mama. Maybe I should formally introduce myself, Benedict. Hello, nephew. I'm your Auntie Viv. What are you two doing here?
Were you expecting someone else?
I wasn't expecting anyone, Finnegan. Especially you and your little girlfriend.
Are you sure you weren't expecting your little boyfriend, Alan?
Hey, Yvette. I was wondering when we'd bump into each other again. Max, what happened between us several days ago, that kiss, it's messing with your head. You're confused. Don't say another word. I'm not confused, Vanessa. I care about you. A lot. How are you my aunt? I'm older. Sometimes people are older than their aunts and uncles. These are one of those cases where the aunt is younger. What makes you so sure that my grandfather is your father? I'm smarter than I look, Ben. I got a DNA test and I'll show it to you right now. How pathetic. You are that eager to tell him, Harley. Don't you dare call me pathetic. And for your information, I wasn't eager to tell Finnegan at all. In fact, you should be grateful that I'm here. Why should I be grateful?
Because if I was alone in this room with you, Terry, then you would see a side of me that you would not want to meet.
You've got me shaking in my boots, Finnegan. Why are you so bothered, since we both have clearly moved on?
Because I'm enraged that you've been spending your time sleeping with a spoiled little brat while our son was messing up his life.
What are you doing here? Getting fresh air? Why at a public place? Especially after everyone knows that you've been stalking Vanessa. I really wish people would stop saying that. Stalking Vanessa is exactly what you did, Keith. And I can't wait for you to end up in prison where you belong. You kinda sound jealous, Yvette. Maybe if you gave me what I wanted during your party, then I might have never given Vanessa a second thought. Can you say something, Vanessa? What do you want me to say? Whatever is on your mind. I don't even know what to think, Max. You and I have been friends for months. Now all of a sudden, you're sharing your undying love for me. Is that why you tried to be my friend after you got saved? All of a sudden you find Jesus and thought I would be the one who God wanted you to marry? When I agreed to be your friend, I genuinely wanted it to stay that way. Then how come we're having this conversation? Because I suppressed the true feelings I've always had for you, Vanessa. Throughout this whole time we've been friends, can you honestly say that you didn't have any deeper feelings for me once? After seeing the DNA test for myself and hearing how my grandmother kicked your mother out, hiding it from my grandfather, I can't doubt you. Glad we're on the same page. Especially since DNA don't lie. I don't know what to say. In fact, I have the urge to apologize. Apologize for what, Ben? You couldn't do nothing. You were only just a little boy when this all went down. At least I fully understand why you didn't tell my family you were Shirley's daughter when you applied at Russell Jewelers. But Vivian, why didn't you tell your mother that you overheard her admitting to who your father was? You have no room to judge me, Finnegan. Not after you cheated. Not since you're the one who destroyed our marriage. On top of that, you spent free time with Harley.
At least I wasn't sneaking around with her all summer like you were with Ellen.
Hypocrites! Both of you. You two started off as a secret affair, a lawyer sleeping with her client. At least Finnegan and I are close to the same age. Alan is closer to Keith's age, Terry. So what? I'm sleeping with a 20-year-old man. What's the worst you can do?
Maybe I'll just go to Quinlan Franklin and tell her that the chief of staff at Valley Park Memorial Hospital is sleeping with an heir to the Russo fortune.
I bet it would make your day if I was jealous. Clearly, I'm not. Did you forget that you wanted to pretend like I was Vanessa while you pinned me on my bed and try to force yourself?
Force myself to do what, Yvette?
You know exactly what you did, Keith. Now get out of my way.
No.
Get out. No. Keith, if you get any closer, then I swear I'll scream. What do you even want from me? We were supposed to forget about the kiss, Max.
I tried, Vanessa, and I'm sorry. I couldn't forget about it. Did you honestly feel nothing when we kissed?
This conversation is ridiculous. You and I are never going to be an item.
You're not answering the question. There have been plenty of chances where I could have tried to win your heart. But because I knew you only wanted me to be your friend, I stepped back. Even Ben tried to get me to try and pursue you just to prove that Keith was your stalker. But I respected you too much not to be anything more than just your friend.
Wait a minute. Ben tried to get you to do what? I ain't want my mother to try and stop me from finally meeting my father.
And that's why you came here to Valley Park and work at Russo Jewelers just to meet my grandfather?
That's all I wanted, Ben. To finally know what sort of man Lorenzo Russo was for myself.
But why know him as his employee?
Vivian, you could take another DNA test and you would match with my grandfather.
Why didn't you just tell him? Why don't you want to tell him?
'Cause neither of us know how he'd react after finding out he got the hell pregnant.
My grandfather can be a manipulative, power-hungry man, but family still means everything to him.
The sad part is that he can be controlling. But if he knew that you were his daughter, he would welcome you with open arms. How are you so sure, Ben? I remember how broken he was after Elvira lost her life. He would have been overjoyed to know that he had another daughter out there. I ain't Elvira though, and he'd know that the very second he actually got to know me. As for Clarice, we both know how she'd react if she was 100% certain of who I am. Clearly, she's still suspicious, or else she wouldn't have gotten you to look into my background. Are you gonna tell your grandma who I am? Are you that bothered that I'm actually spending time with a man other than you? That you'd put my career on the line?
If your affair with Alan is as innocent as you claim, then what's the worst that could happen if it gets to the news?
And are you okay with this, Harley? Are you actually willing to put your son's family through yet another scandal? If it helps to keep you away from my son for good, then it would be worth it.
If you don't want our son to know about your affair, then you'll end your affair with Alan by the end of the week. Maybe if you didn't disown our son just so you could seduce a young man more than half your age, then you wouldn't be in such a predicament. Choose wisely, Terry.
What could you do for me? I'm glad you asked, Yvette. You can make sure that I don't get into any more trouble than I'm already in. Don't tell anyone you saw me, since I'm not really allowed outside of the house. I also want you to make sure that Zeke keeps his mouth shut about what went on at your party. He doesn't know what he walked in on. Fine. Can you please just get out of my face? At least you said please. Good luck in court, Yvette. I think you'll need it. I wasn't gonna go along with Ben's plan, Vanessa. I promise you I wasn't gonna do it. Save it, Max. The thought that you even told anyone else about these so-called feelings just makes me... You know what, Max? Just get out.
Vanessa, please. We need to talk about this.
Don't tell me what I need to talk about in my house. Get out.
You have my word that I won't tell my grandmother about who you really are. I'll just tell her that you were right about when you told her who your parents are.
Why would you want to protect me like that? Sure, I'm your auntie, but you don't know me at all.
After everything you've told me, you've been robbed of so much before you were even born over a situation you had no control over.
It's your life, Vivian. Your secret. It's not my place to expose it. Just so you know, my internship is gonna end before the end of the year. Once it's over, I'm leaving Valley Park. Why? Is there anything that would make you change your mind about leaving? Nothing. Like I told you, the only reason why I came was to find out who Lorenzo Russo was for myself. That's it. I don't want nothing from him or your family. I lived my whole life without Russo money. I'll be okay without it. I don't doubt that you'll be able to take care of yourself. But I don't want you to leave town empty-handed if you still plan to leave. Maybe I'll make sure to sign over half of my Russo Jewelers shares to you. Ben, I'm serious. I don't want a single cent from you, Lorenzo, or any other Russo. Those shares were given to you. They're your birthright. Russo Jewelers is your birthright too, Vivian. What my grandmother did it was messed up. But you shouldn't have been punished for what my grandfather and your mother did. Besides, I want nothing to do with the company. You already work there, so you might change your mind in the future and actually want to have a big part of the family company. I don't know what to say. Use the remainder of your internship to know that at least one person in this family has your back if you do decide to tell my grandfather you're his daughter. Like I told you before, my grandfather spent 20 years without a daughter. He wouldn't let go of the only chance he has to know the only living daughter that he does have. Thank you so much for your generous gift, nephew. Thank you for giving me the first step to take over the company. Sorry I had to lie about my true intentions. I'm so sorry, Ben.